everybody loves the sound of their own name. And you'd be shocked and surprised that 74% of workers struggle with pronunciations, and 44, almost half of them, struggle with it and face it in their interviews. Even more so, another 41% endure it in client meetings. This presumes that they already know who these people are that they're working with. The reason why most people ignore it isn't because they don't want to get it right. It's because they're too lazy and they're inconvenienced at being able to say somebody's name. But respect is not an inconvenience. Respect is cost of entry to any good relationship, because once you say their name wrong the first time, it kind of sticks in there, and you really don't want to have that be the thing that they remember about you, especially right from the beginning. So your name isn't complicated, but sometimes our laziness is.
The idea of job security is outdated as a landline. If you haven't been in a search for a while, it's probable you will at some point, by choice or not. Most executives admit to staying way too long, or sense what's coming and justify staying anyway. There's another reason. The faulty belief that navigating to what's next will inevitably be worse and has to suck. Screw that. L.O.R.E.N. Gryfe has spent a lifetime in corporate and executive search, calling bullshit on stale career advice that most still use. This is Career Blast in a Half, the career podcast for executives ready to cut past outdated career advice to fuel your outcomes now. So let's go.
Well, hello and welcome back. If I knew your name, I would call you out specifically by name with the pronunciation correct. And this is why you're here, because today's episode is called What's in a Name? Everything You're Ignoring. And why we're having this particular episode at this particular time really goes back to the universal law that everybody loves the sound of their own name. And you'd be shocked and surprised that 74% of workers struggle with pronunciations, and 44, almost half of them, struggle with it and face it in their interviews. So even more so, another 41% endure it in client meetings. This presumes that they already know who these people are that they're working with. And I want to share this with you so that you don't run into any of those embarrassing moments where you inserted your foot before you took the extra step to actually learn how to say that person's name. Now, I'm going to give you a little backstory because I think it's very important. Please make note of this. This is for me, right? I spell my name L.O.R.E.N. My last name is not Gryfe, it's Gryfe. And so when you run into somebody who has a name that may be hard to pronounce, go the extra mile, or even a couple steps even, to get it right. Get it right and ask them. This is such an easy thing to do. I mean, this couldn't be any easier, and actually asking is just a sign of endearment. And I will say that a lot, right? Like, hey, how do you pronounce your name? Because I too am speaking to a lot of people on a regular basis, and it's not intuitive. But hang tight and hang around, because I'm going to give you an easy way to do this that is right on LinkedIn. So the reason why most people ignore it isn't because they don't want to get it right. It's because they're too lazy and they're inconvenienced at being able to say somebody's name. But respect is not an inconvenience. Respect is cost of entry to any good relationship. It's going to be holiday season. It's coming right up. You're going to be in peak networking mode, whether you know this person or chances are you're going to be introduced to somebody too. So think about both the personal and the business impact, because this really matters. Because once you say their name wrong the first time, it kind of sticks in there, and you really don't want to have that be the thing that they remember about you, especially right from the beginning. So your name isn't complicated, but sometimes our laziness is, and you want to be able to avoid that at all costs right from the beginning, because as you will find that it only takes 10 seconds to learn, but that can equate to years and years and years of respect. I feel so sad when I've done it myself and I've butchered somebody's name and my credibility is compromised right from the get-go. So it is worth that moment. You can be in a rush and you can, be digitizing everything, but speaking somebody's name with care is one of the most human, kind, connected things that you could do. And so this message is for you, both this holiday season and while you're networking and meeting new people. Now, here's the hack. This is so easy, and I don't know why. It just seems like it might be buried on LinkedIn, but I want you to go to your LinkedIn profile on your phone, on your mobile app. This is so unbelievably easy, and LinkedIn will give you, I believe it's about a little more than 10 seconds. And all you need to do is go to your profile and click on that little edit icon. It looks like a pencil. And then you're going to have the option to click on add name pronunciation. Press it and hold the microphone and record your name. You can also preview it and of course redo it if you want to, change it out. But you can also choose where you'd like this to be enabled. Is it just for all your first degree connections? I would recommend all your connections because you want to get it right. And then of course, hit apply now or whatever that access is that says, yeah, it's uploaded, and of course, go and check it. Now, here's where it really gets better. Make sure that you're not just pronouncing your name and providing that to others, but use that same feature in advance of any conversation that you are having, especially those that may look like they have a certain phonetic way of saying it, a dialect. Some of that is super important. We live in a global world, and we want to be able to be discerning and respectful from the very, 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 very beginning. So with that in mind, I will say, I wish I knew your name, and I would love to hear from you so that I know your name and I know who you are, who's listening. In the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll be back next week with some really amazing, amazing guests. I don't want to give it all away. And also, I am going to ask you, please, if you like this episode and you like that it was shorter, let us know. If you like solo episodes, also appreciate that feedback. In the meantime, if you could please write us a Apple review or Spotify review, that would mean the world to us because you guys are the ones that are keeping this going, and we appreciate all of the feedback that we've been getting. So thank you so much, and so insanely grateful for you, and good luck with everything that is happening this week, and we'll sign off. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining today. We appreciate your listening ears. Big time. We ask this: use these tools, not tomorrow, right now, and share them by spreading the love, leaving us a rating and subscribe so you don't miss the next career blast in a half. Most of all, thank you for you.